Good evening, everyone. This is Carla, the Cosmic Crone, and I'm going to bring you a brief summary of some of the high points of the Taurus full moon eclipse that's happening in about 12 hours. I'm actually in the middle of an eclipse ceremony. I didn't quite even realize it. It came and got me in the night last night. I was outside sitting with the moon from about midnight to 3:30 a.m. till the clouds came in and obscured it. And in the morning, I'll be getting up at about 3 a.m. to go out into my field and watch the eclipse. I'm very grateful for clear weather and the opportunity to see the western sky. This eclipse is impacting my natal chart in a very big way and blowing the doors off of some ancestral and personal healing work that I've been in progress on all year. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I didn't really pay attention. I was all excited over the solar eclipse and where that was landing. So I've been down to the pond to watch the moon rise, and here I am sitting in the barn loft with a view, and it's very dark in here, so if I turn the camera around on me, you won't see anything. So I'm going to show you the moon while I talk briefly about some of the high points of this eclipse. There's a lot of action around the sun. The sun is at 1602 Scorpio and flanked by Venus and Mercury. Very close. Venus, they both just completed a conjunction with the sun. And they're both emerging into evening stars. It'll take a while before we can see them because the sun's light is so bright. But in another month or so, we should be able to see Venus as the evening star lower in the western horizon. So all of that energy of the Scorpio eclipse conjunct Venus at 2 degrees Scorpio is carrying intensely into this full moon and this lunar eclipse in a way that we don't necessarily see often. So Mercury, which is about communication and transactions and electronics and lightning and things that move fast. Venus, who is in her dark goddess phase in Scorpio, she is igniting and illuminating. It's kind of like anti-illuminating and darkening the secrets and taboos that we associate with Scorpio. And she's helping us metabolize them. That's what she's doing. And then across the sky in Taurus, which is Venus's home, she is the ruler of Taurus, all things beautiful, sensual, luxurious, and abundant and earthy. And she's in her body and in her pleasure body in Taurus. And that's where the moon is right now. And so the moon is bringing emotional and intuitive resonance to these physical, embodied sense of the self. And so you're going to feel things in your body. Now, emotions and intuition are embodied anyway. We experience them through the body. And if we are cut off from our body, we have difficulty sensing, experiencing emotion accessing its wisdom, accessing the wisdom of our intuition. It's there, but we have trouble accessing it. And with the moon in Taurus, we get a little boost around that. And the moon is lined up exactly with the earth and the sun. The earth is between the sun and the moon will pass through its shadow tonight into tomorrow morning. So this is remarkable. You know, half the world is going to be able to see this and watch it and allow yourself to be bathed in the red light of the shadowed moon. And even if you sleep through it, even if it's cloudy where you are, even if you live in a city and there's tall buildings blocking your view, you're still going to be bathed in it. And if you can, take a very simple ritual out into the night sky and let this light of the red moon, the dark eclipsed moon, land in your eyes and receive that light into your body. It will help you integrate everything that's going on. Because what else is going on is the moon is conjunct Uranus to within a degree. And Uranus brings the unexpected. Uranus brings, we associate Uranus with things coming out of the blue, the bolt from beyond, the lightning bolt, lightning striking, maybe even twice. And Uranus can be scary in association, in a conjunction with an eclipse like this. That's just kind of the nature of our minds when it comes to Uranus. And in the state of the world, with war and contentious election days and factions and rights and lives being taken away by people with no business, no awareness, making decisions, it's kind of scary. I think the U.S. is rather alarmed about the potential of the election, which is happening tomorrow, right at this full moon eclipse. You know, the voting starts just past. At least it's past. The eclipse will be over, although voting has been going on, absentee voting, but polls will open. The eclipse will be over because polls don't open until 7 or 8 in the morning, wherever you are. So that may be a small blessing, but Uranus is right there. Okay, so that's on our minds, and it's something to watch, to be aware of. Make sure you vote if you're in the U.S. And Uranus also stands for something else, and that is spiritual epiphany, sudden awakening, strokes of insight, blinding lights of seeing and vision, new awareness and breakthroughs of a life-transforming way. So this eclipse, this portal, is opening with the potential that if you have your eyes open, your heart open, your body open to receive, you will receive answers or brand new questions. And I'm listening to myself because this is, I've got a lot of questions. I'm grappling with some things. And I realize Uranus can help me see them with absolute clarity. Now, whether I'm going to like it or not is another matter. So that's true for you as well. The epiphany can sometimes feel like a death. It's like Pluto is standing by to pick up the pieces. Oh, and something I don't have the chart in front of me because it's too dark to see it anyway. But I think Hecate is involved. I think Hecate is in Virgo, within reach of this eclipse. The degree of the sun and the moon. I believe I'm right about that. I'll have to check it and come back and correct myself in the comments if I'm wrong. So what that means is that as you receive your stroke of insight, your epiphany, it may involve a journey to the underworld. So Hecate is standing by to take you there. And the underworld often looks very much like what's going on in Scorpio. So it's important to notice what houses, what part of your chart is activated by Scorpio, the middle of Scorpio, 16 degrees of Scorpio, and 16 degrees of Taurus, the place where Mercury, Sun, Moon, and, Mercury, Sun, Venus, and Taurus and Uranus are located. It'd be very important to know that. So there won't be time before the moon tomorrow morning, obviously, but you'll be processing what happens in this moon for a long time. So I suggest you hit me up for Dark Goddess Astrology. I have one space available in November, and we can book into December. So I'm looking at my own Dark Goddess Astrology for this. And I want to say this about meeting the Dark Goddess. The moon, a lunar eclipse, is literally taking the light of the full moon, who is the blessings of the grandmother and the crone, or the fullness of the goddess. But she is full of blessings, and she illuminates the dark with her silvery light. And when she goes into shadow, she takes that into the shadow realms. Tonight and into tomorrow, we're all going to be tapped into the underworld. Now, the reason for tapping into the underworld is for metabolizing, healing, dipping into the raw stuff of creativity, and bringing it up to the above world into the light, and making things with it, doing something with it, living into it. So this is not about getting stuck in the darkness, in the shadow. This is about seeing what has been hidden, integrating it, and drawing strength from it, even if our egoic mind, our conditioned mind, our child mind is scared of what we see or rejects, wants to reject. So the Dark Goddess is here with you to make this journey with you. And I just learned something about the Dark Goddess this afternoon. And I've always known it, but once again, it was thrown into focus for me so that I could see it and articulate it. We think of the Dark Goddess as fierce, dark, connected to death, going into the underworld, being one of the bloody, outraged, enraged goddesses we associate here in the West in ignorance, actually. We associate Sekhmet and Kali and the red dakinis and the scary goddesses, the bloodthirsty goddesses. We tend to see her as the dark goddess. And the epiphany that came to me while I was resting in the dark as part of a meditation was that the nature of the dark goddess is simply she meets us in the dark. So any goddess can meet us in the dark. And when she meets us in the dark, she meets us in our fertile, gestating, seed opening space. And things may need to lie fallow there for a while. The seed sometimes lies all winter until the warmth of the sun penetrates and the water penetrates, and then it puts down the root further into the dark and it puts up the shoot towards the light. The dark goddess is with us in that seed state or that womb state. So if you want to meet the dark goddess, go into the darkness of your womb and sit with her. And those of you who've worked with me know you've had an experience of going into your womb. So that is a beautiful thing to do in the presence or during this next 12 to 24 hours, especially the next 12, during the dark time. And if you find yourself waking up at 4 a.m. or sometime between midnight and 4 a.m. and dawn, depending on where you live. Even if you are not able to go out and look at the moon, drop into your womb. Sit in a chair or stay in your bed and drop into your deep womb space and ask to meet the dark goddess. And let her help you process what this moon is bringing through. So that is the brief, succinct, and very essential part. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that was caught on the camera. I'll have to look at the video later. A fireball just dropped from the zenith to the right of the moon. A meteor. Wow. That was whatever I was saying then. It carries the weight of divine truth. It was coming through with a hell yes from the heavens. So I'm going to wish you blessed full moon, blessed eclipse. Take good care of yourself as you process all this energy. Self-care. I won't be sleeping much tonight, but I'll catch up on the day or two after. So let me know how this lands. Come back here and share what you experienced at the full moon, if you so desire. And I'll make a thread for that in my group, the Womb Wisdom Portal, because it'll be a little more private there. Those of you who are members can share, and if you're not a member and you're a female, a womb carrier, a woman, you may go to the link of Join Group on this page and ask for membership. It is free. It is a free group. So I am absolutely in love with this moon and this sky. And I hope wherever you are, you are having a beautiful full moon eclipse. Even if it's daytime during the eclipse and you can't see it at all, you're standing between the sun and the moon on the earth. So take it in. Look at towards the sun and feel that moon energy coming in through your back. That's very powerful too. So here we are in the midst of our full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse ceremony. Thank you for joining me. Blessings.